Hello everyone, Madayaw and Shalom. It will be Shabbat in a few minutes. Now, I've been very open about searching for my roots, even applied for an IP certificate as a Mandaya because my grandmother is Mandaya. And if you ask why not on my grandfather's side or on my father's side, that is because on my father's side he's Chinese, they are Hokkien, and they don't really have any of those IP certifs. As for my grandfather, he is not sure what he is. Igorot or Ilocano. For one thing is, he just know he was born in Nueva Ecija but grew up in Laguna, then Manila, so he just jumped around. So he never really identified as tribe, not like my grandmother, who did very much identify as, because I guess it's different here in Mindanao. And I've always known that in my life. Even some buwan ng wika, I always dress up in tribal attire and nobody could really understand it. But that was okay. That's what I wanted. Anyways, so now that I'm back living here in Davao, I decided I'm going to touch base with my roots. And yes, I am also working with different IP groups, not just my own. I have activity books and coloring books and a storybook with the Bagoboklata tribe. Of course, a lot of people don't want to say tribe, ethno-linguistic group or community. And then I have one with the Tiboli community. And then I will definitely have one with my Mandaya community. So I'm going to, I want to do a lot of children's books so that the kids, the children right now, they will not forget. Because honestly, a lot of kids, especially under the age of 7, do not know what is tribe, do not know what is their identity. So at first, I was just trying to define what is the Filipino identity. What is it? So I decided maybe if I strip off all the colonial aspects of it, maybe I can find the root of it. Okay, so, but I do believe like those have all colored what the Filipino identity is, but I wanted to get down to the roots of it, get it in its bare bones. So I did. I tried to do research, and then I saw this video because YouTube suggested it about God culture, and they were talking about Philippines as Ophir, Tarshish, Sheb or Cebu, Sheba. And then I met the God Culture team, Tim and Anna, and they're like, gee, don't skip the Bible. Read the very important part if you really want to know about things like that. Look at the genealogy. You know those begat, his son is this, his son is that, begat. I kept skipping those because they were boring. And now it's like, oh, it's not boring at all. It tells you a lot of things. Because here in the Philippines, we name places with names of people or attributes of. Apparently, the same thing happens in the Bible. So if it's not an attribute, it is a name of a person. And so, yeah. Okay, so last month, my mother and I went to Katiil so we can apply for IP certificate, and she was also trying to trace an ancestor, and I'm like, let's hit two birds with one stone because I also need to submit a genealogy when we go to the IP office anyway. So before we went to the IP office, we went around and asked around, and I started to take notes so that when we get to the IP office, I can write something in my genealogy, and lo and behold, I found out great grandfather. So fifth generation, five generations up. His name was Lolo Faustino. People in the area said he was a Jew. Like, okay, but it wasn't like World War II Jew, because this was like 18 something, 1800s. He was here in the 1800s. So nobody can quite remember him, but people just remembered things that were passed around from, the older people. So that was interesting. And so I tried to connect with other relatives who, um, yeah, they told me it's possible he was. Everybody knew that back then. It's like, oh, really? So yesterday I was able to meet an aunt. It's my first time to meet her. And she's a volunteer nurse in Israel. And she told me that, um, what's this? My doggy is peeing. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, she told me that Lolo Faustino was a Sephardic Jew who was born in Spain, fled persecution, grew up, so he was still a baby that time, or at least toddler, grew up here in the Philippines, but not in Mindanao, not quite yet. He still, for some reason, was in Cebu, and we don't know if he married in Cebu or went to Katiil then married there, but the girl's parents, or her father in particular, so Lolo Faustino's father-in-law was part of Dagohoy's war or rebellion. So, what an interesting man. Anyways, I found out what tribe he's from. So he's Jewish, but he has a tribe, and his tribe is from Judah. So isn't that exciting? Because of my love of tribes, I was able to find out what his tribe is, and well, he is most likely from the tribe of Judah. So hail to the Lion of Judah.